Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be showing you my favorite Korean dish, which is spicy Galbi-jjim, and this is a braised short beef recipe. I decided to use this USDA chuck short rib that I was able to get at Costco, and this meat is typically good for absorbing all of the juices which you will need for this particular recipe. So come along and watch me as I cook my favorite Korean recipe and I show you guys how I make this delicious dish. So the first step that you're going to need to do is you're going to have a big pot and fill it with water, and you're going to want enough water so that you can cover all of the meat that you have. You're going to want around 5 pounds of the boneless short ribs for this recipe, so you're going to want enough water to fill up the entire pot. First, you want the pot to be boiling with water. Once the pot starts boiling with water, you're going to want to put all of the short ribs into the pot. This way we can get rid of all the excess blood and whatever excess fat. And you want to let the meat boil for at least 8 to 10 minutes, at least until the entire meat is cooked through. After this step, you're going to want to drain the meat, so you want to get rid of all the excess water, and you're going to want to put the meat in another colander so that you can rinse the meat so that you would allow it to stop cooking. So what I did was, after I drained the meat, I let cold water run through all of the meats, and then I would carefully take off the meat from the bone. For the ones where it was really difficult to remove, I just used a knife to saw them off. And you're going to want to clean the pot that you just took the meat out of, because you're going to reuse this pot in the next step. After you've removed all of the bones from the meat, then you're going to want to cut up the meat so that they're in small slices, which you can see here. You're going to want them around 1/2 inch thick, and you're going to want them so that you can take a good 2 bites out of it. Nothing too big, because then it'll be really tough to chew and not all the flavors will soak in. So after you finish cutting up all the meat, you're going to want to put the meat back in the pot, back in the clean pot that you just washed. So for the soup base, these are the following ingredients that you will need. Once you have all the ingredients for the soup base, you're going to want to follow the instructions that I have here on the screen, and you're going to want to pour in the designated amount of each ingredient into a separate mixing bowl. Then you're going to want to mix all of these ingredients so that it is into like a nice big soup base. Once you have the soup base mixed, you want to put all of the meat that you just cut up into the pot, and then you're going to want to pour the soup base that you just made also into the same pot. Then you're going to want to put around 6 cups of clean water into the cup, mix the whole thing, and then allow your pot to boil for around 30 minutes on high heat, and be sure to cover the lid so that you can really allow the juices to marinate inside. After your pot has been boiling for around 30 minutes on high heat, you're going to want to turn it down low to medium heat and let it boil again for another 30 minutes. While this is boiling for the next 30 minutes, you're going to want to prepare the other ingredients that you want to add in later to your Galbi-jjim. So these are the next ingredients that you'll want to prepare as your meat is boiling. So here I'm cutting up some onions. We want to dice them into pretty small bits so that we can incorporate them into our dish. And you're only going to need one large onion, and make sure that you peel the onion, of course, before you put it in. And put the onions in a dish on the side after you finish cutting them up for later use. The next step is to cut up and mince some garlic. So I only got one piece of garlic and I minced all of them, and you want to be sure you remove the skin of the garlic as well. And after you finish mincing all of the garlic, the next thing that you want to do is slice up some ginger for added flavor. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to peel 3 large carrots, and once you're done peeling them, you're going to want to dice them into around 1 by 1 cubes, and you're going to want to do this so that it's not too small, because if it's too small it's going to get lost in your galbi-jjim. Too big and the flavors won't really soak in. If you like to have skin on your potatoes, feel free not to peel it and just to cut them up into 2 by 2 cubes. And of course, for this recipe, you can add as many carrots or as many potatoes as you wish. I just chose 3 carrots and 3 potatoes because I like an even mix of potatoes, carrots, and meat, so not to overwhelm my dish with too much of anything. Once your pot is done boiling for the next 30 minutes, now you're going to want to incorporate all your ingredients into the pot. So first you want to put the garlic and the ginger into the pot and stir it around to give it a good mix. Then let it simmer for a little bit more. After it's simmering for around 10 to 20 minutes, now you want to put in the onions, the potatoes, and the carrots. And you're going to put all of it into your stew pot, and you're going to really want to give it a good mix and put it on simmer for at least another 30 minutes. You want to make sure that all your potatoes and your carrots are completely cooked through. After another 30 minutes, you have the option of putting in tteokbokki if you will like, which are Korean rice cakes, and they're shaped in long cylindrical tubes. I personally really love tteokbokki and love adding rice cakes to this dish, so that's why I incorporated some tteokbokki at the end. And you're going to want to let the tteokbokki sit in there for around 10 to 15 minutes until it is soft and chewy on the inside. I like to add a little bit of extra garlic powder at the very end just for added flavor. You can choose not to do this if you don't like to. I just like to add extra spices into my galbi-jjim. And of course, for added garnish, you're going to want to chop up some green onions and sprinkle it all around the top. And you can choose to add other things. I chose to also add in sesame seeds for added garnish. And voila! That is your finished spicy galbi-jjim. I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing me make this recipe. This is one of my absolute favorite dishes. It's so good. And of course, feel free to cater it to how you like it. If you don't like too much spice, feel free to add less gochugaru or more or less gochujang. Cooking is all about experimentation, so you should always cater things to your taste. This is my base recipe, so feel free to change it up however you would like for your taste. Thank you guys so much for watching me cook my favorite Korean galbi-jjim recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below if there are any other cooking recipes that you guys would like me to make, and I'll try to do my best to recreate them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time on my next video.